Jai Sanskar. In this segment, I am going to teach you about carbon and its compound. Till the time we have talked about ionic compounds and what are their properties, how do they make bond with each other, what is the reason behind the conductivity, etc. But in this segment, we are supposed to perform an activity which is activity number 4.1. According to this activity, you are supposed to collect the item around you and then you are supposed to check whether these items are made up of glass or clay, is it made up of metal or any other compound. So, you will find the most of the item like crockery, etc., or vessels that you use at your house, okay, that all are made up of metal. Bench, other doors, those are made up of wood, right? Certain things are made up of glass, but the polythene, the mobile case, covers of mobile, all are made up of plastic, and plastic has this major component carbon inside it. Okay, so we are going to study about the carbon and its compound. What is the different thing is there in carbon and what are its compound. First of all, you are supposed to collect the items and then you will know that most of the items what we use are made up of carbon. Okay, in earth crust, carbon is available only in the proportion of 0.02 percentage. Okay, and in atmosphere, carbon dioxide is present of 0.03 percentage only. But human body, even plant body, the energy currency which is adenotriphosphate, that also include carbon inside it. Even human body જ્યારે ડેડ થઈ જાય તો કેટલા ટાઈમ પહેલાં એ ડેથ થઈ છે એ જાણવા માટે પણ કાર્બન ડેટિંગ કરવામાં આવે કે કાર્બન કયા ફોર્મમાં બોડીની અંદર પ્રેઝન્ટ છે, રાઈટ. સો કાર્બન જે છે એ દરેકે દરેક લિવિંગ ઓર્ગેનિઝમની અંદર પ્રેઝન્ટેડ છે. ઓકે, ટિલ ધ ટાઈમ વી હેવ લર્ન અબાઉટ ionic compound. Ionic compound has this tendency to join with other elements by giving, donating or accepting an electron. Over here, sodium is donating electron and chlorine is accepting. So, the bond which is there between these two is called ionic bond, and because of this ionic bond, ionic compounds are good conductor of electricity. Okay, good conductor of electricity. They also do have high melting and boiling point, right? These are the property of ionic compounds. Now let's just talk about the carbon compounds, like how carbon react with other elements, what is his way to interact or to have a bond with other thing. So let's just understand it like this. What is the electronic configuration of carbon? Carbon has 6 protons and 6 electrons. So if we try to make the electronic configuration which we have studied in standard 9, so in K shell there should be only 2 electrons. Okay, so K shell is completely filled. Next is L shell. L shell ની અંદર occupancy total 8 element માટે છે, right? ઓક્યુપન્સી 8 એલિમેન્ટ માટે છે, પણ બાકી બચ્યા 2 યુઝ થઈ ગયા 6 માંથી, તો 4 બચ્યા, મતલબ અહીંયા 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 ને અહીંયા ઇલેક્ટ્રોન્સ છે. સો કાર્બન કેન આઈધર ગીવ અપ ધીસ 4 ઇલેક્ટ્રોન ઓર ઓબ્ટેન 4 ઇલેક્ટ્રોન્સ ફ્રોમ અધર. બોથ ધ સિચ્યુએશન આર વેરી ડિફિકલ્ટ, રાઈટ. તમારી પાસે 50 રૂપિયા હોય અને સામેવાળાને એમ કહો કે તમે 50 રૂપિયા દઈ દો તો મારે 100 પૂરા થઈ જાય, તો એ તો બહુ અડધા અડધ માંગવાની વાત થઈ. અથવા તમારી પાસે 50 પૈસા છે ને 50 તમે કોઈકને દઈ દો, એ પણ અઘરી વાત થઈ ગઈ, હે ને. 100ની ઉપરના 10 હોય તો તમે હજી દઈ દો કોકને. સો કાર્બન પાસે આ આયોનિક બોન્ડિંગ ટાઈપની ટેન્ડન્સી નથી. ઇટ કેન નોટ ગીવ અપ ઓર ઇટ કેન નોટ એક્સેપ્ટ. શું કરવા એક્સેપ્ટ ન કરી શકે? સેન્ટરમાં ખાલી 6 ઇલેક્ટ્રોન્સ 6 પ્રોટોન્સ હોય અને આઉટર સાઈડમાં ખાલી 2 ઇલેક્ટ્રોન હોય, તો બાકીના આ જે 4 ઇલેક્ટ્રોન છે એને રિમૂવ કરવા માટે ખૂબ વધારે એનર્જી રિક્વાયર્ડ હોય. ઓર 4 ઇલેક્ટ્રોન્સ બહારથી અગર એ ગેઇન કરીએ તો સેન્ટરમાં જે પોઝિટિવ ચાર્જ છે એ ઓનલી 6 હોય અને બહાર જે નેગેટિવ ચાર્જ છે ડ્યુ ટુ ઇલેક્ટ્રોન્સ that is 10. That is also a difficult task. So therefore carbon has this unique way of making bond, and this unique way of making bond is called covalent bonding. What do we call it? A covalent bonding. This covalent bonding happens only in carbon, like because the electronic configuration, due to the electronic configuration of carbon, there are many more like silicon, germanium, etc. are having just like a carbon structure, but the carbon is the smallest element which shows this kind of behavior. So let's just understand how this covalent bonding works. So let's just take a simple example of hydrogen. We know that hydrogen is a diatomic molecule. It is always present in the form of H2. Same goes with oxygen, right? Same goes with nitrogen. Nitrogen also in the diatomic form. But how this bonding happens? What happens? One hydrogen, suppose this is a hydrogen nucleus, okay, and it is having 1 electron on the outermost shell. This is another hydrogen having only 1 electron in outermost shell. So it cannot give up or accept because it is in the same situation as the carbon, because if it will have then positive charge is only 1 and negative charge would be -2, so almost double the difference would be there. So this situation is here also. So what is going to happen? These hydrogens are going to share this 1 electron. So what is going to happen? This is a hydrogen nucleus and here there is a 1 electron of it. Here there is an electron of another. If we go by book, we will show it by a cross. Okay, so these 2 cross shows this one is electron from this hydrogen atom, this electron is from this hydrogen atom, and they will combine like this, so they can feel that they do have 2 electrons in their outermost shell. So they will achieve something electronic configuration like the next element, which is a helium. Okay, so they are trying to behave like it, or they are trying to complete their outermost shell. So since they are sharing 1 electron with each other, it is called hydrogen single bond. Okay, let's just talk about oxygen. Oxygen has 8 electrons as well as 8 protons. So in K shell there would be 2 electrons, but we know the valency or the ability to combine with another element depends only on the configuration of outermost shell, and oxygen has 6 electrons in its outermost shell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There is a 2 place which are still empty. Okay. Because there is a 6 electrons, only 2 electrons required to fulfill this entire structure. Let's just talk about another oxygen molecules which is also having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 electrons. This one also required 2 electrons, but this is again a difficult task as we have discussed before. So what is going to happen? These 2 oxygen molecules are going to combine with each other in a such a way, let's just put it near to this one, such a way that they do share 2 electrons. 2 electrons from this oxygen, 2 electrons from this oxygen, and rest are 4. Okay. So these are their outermost configuration, but because of sharing of this electron, they will have 8 electrons complete, something like neon electronic configuration would be there. So here oxygens are sharing 2 electrons, okay, they are not giving up or accepting, but they are sharing. So therefore we will say there is a double bond between oxygen atoms. Therefore oxygen is always found in O2 form. Same goes with nitrogen. You can do it by yourself. The outermost shell of nitrogen has 5 electrons, okay, in center there is a nitrogen, it has 5 electrons, it can either gain 3 more electrons or it can share. Sharing is more convenient, so therefore they will share 3 electron, and we can write it like this. Nitrogen is bonded with another nitrogen with covalent bond or bonding by sharing, and it is sharing 3 electrons. Therefore we can say it has triple bond or triple bonding. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you.